Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Controllers and Couches!
Controllers and Couches!
I am Stephfafahh, he is FullMetalChicken.
And today I killed a plant.
Well, you didn't kill it, we just had to... We repotted it, it's fine.
It went... I overwatered a cactus. This is a 20-year-old cactus. It's survived this long outside, but I decided...
Without any FullMetalChicken interaction.
I figured I will bring it in with the ferns, and I will look after it, and I will nurture it, because it's gone from one cactus to 6 cacti, and now it's dead.
It's not dead.
It's rotted.
We cut off the rotted parts, so it's fine.
It basically succumbed to home and away. It's become rotten.
Home and away.
So,
how's your week been, sir?
Everything was good until I found out that I'd borderline killed a cactus. So, but yeah, apart from that, let's see. I switched instant coffee. That was kind of a bit of an experiment, which failed.
What instant coffee were you before, and what are you now?
Before I was going for Moccona, and this time I went for the same Moccona, but it just seemed different, so it's different coffee.
Was it a dirty cup?
No, don't think so.
Was it dirty water?
I think it was more the fact that I combined banana with mayonnaise on toast. That could have been it.
Oh, you think?
No, I don't know, maybe. It could have been that. Possibly.
So, that's it for you?
Let's see.
Just end this podcast here. That's it, guys.
Yeah,
sorry.
Thanks for watching. Tune in next week. No. What else did I do? I decided that due to a brain snap on all the gaming, I just uninstalled everything. And then decided to reinstall it. So, yeah, it was kind of weird.
Kind of weird, he says.
Yeah, so that was pretty much it.
That's been your week?
That's been my week. I have done pretty much sweet F.
How are you doing reading? Because you told us you were going to be finished by now.
Yep, finished.
Review.
Did
you put a review on Goodreads?
Not yet, no.
Alright, out of 5 stars. One being like...
I'd probably give it... Oh, The Martian was way better.
You haven't even read The Martian yet,
I've
mate.
seen The Martian. But I'd probably give it a 3.5 out of 5. It was too short.
You have to round it to a full star.
Okay, I'll give it 4. For me, I'd give it 4 out of 5.
Okay. Give us a review. Give us a synopsis and then a review.
So essentially, without spoilers, everything's based on, well, the moon. They've got a protagonist who is a courier, and essentially she wants to, slowly move up the ranks to get her own. She wants to get part of the tour system, and then so they've got the EV units.
So that she can make more money.
Make more money, yeah. Because at the moment, being a porter and a courier, you don't make much money. So basically, she wants to look into getting that. She wants to get an EVA license, and she wants to get in favour with the guild and everything. But she gets into a bit more contraband side of things.
Okay.
So there's a little bit of conspiracy going on. So she gets caught up in a conspiracy, and there's a murder, and so then fingers start getting pointed, and all in all, there's a little bit of espionage, and then it's just a case of, oh no, shit hits the fan. I got to try and survive now. My cover could be blown, and then all the intrigue and everything goes on. So it's sort of, based in space, on the moon. We've got espionage, we've got shenanigans, and the interesting thing about this is during the book, as you read it, they've got parts where it switches over to email conversation.
Oh.
So you may, she'll be communicating with one of her friends, and that'll be, inserted in different chapters and everything. So that was interesting. I enjoyed it. So it's going to be interesting to see. Well, I think they've actually got the rights to the movie, so they're actually going to make a movie on it.
Beautiful.
So,
do you know what I found out they're making a movie of? They actually released the script for it today. Well, not they released it, but announced it. A Court of Thorns and Roses.
Ooh.
The script for the movie has been completed. Sorry.
Cool.
Sorry, didn't mean to
No, that's
interrupt. Which is another series that you need to read.
Yes.
I want you to read it so that way you and I can fangirl about it together.
Yes.
And we can discuss things. But at the same time, I know it's not your cup of tea.
cool. You know, it could be good.
But what are you going to transition your reading to now?
I think now I'm going to go to the Jack West Jr.
Ooh.
So I'm going to start reading, continue reading.
Well, you have to read the free ebook first.
Actually, yes, I'll do
the
that.
novella, and then you can start the series again.
Yep, and then we'll go through Jack West.
Yep.
Also, I've been listening to Ready Player One.
Yep.
Nearly finished that. Seeing as
You need to update your Goodreads, because I'm sitting here looking at it, and apparently you're only 33% through Ready Player One.
Yeah, I haven't updated it. So, yeah, I've been a little bit behind the 8 ball on that one. So,
Right on.
yeah. So that's pretty much it. But, yeah, how's your week been?
Yeah, you know. Where do I start? Okay, so I'll start with my book rec. Not book rec, my book summarization. I finished, what's it called? Dragonfly in Amber by Diana Gabaldon. This is the second book in the Outlander book series, essentially. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. Although I feel like Diana is an amazing story writer, and I feel like she constructs a really amazing and great dialogue, and she's really, really descriptive, so you literally feel like you're watching a movie in your mind. And also she does so much research, and she's so accurate with her history, but at the same time so you can tell how well researched it is, but then the fact that she has this beautiful way of tying fiction into what actually happened in real life. So I found that to be really kind of, I want to say, unique in that aspect, because I've read books before where I don't feel like they pull that off as well.
No.
But I will say that a lot of it I just felt like it was just filler, and it didn't need to be that long. The things that I disliked about Claire in the first book were really amplified in this second book, and where I thought she was weak and reckless and just making stupid decisions in Outlander, it was just so much more annoying in this, and I can't really say too much more without spoiling the events of book 1 or book 2, so I'm gonna leave it there.
Nice.
But yeah, in terms of my week, just studying. I have 3 hours left of face-to-face class time.
And then holidays.
This week, and then that is it for me. But I do have a story to tell you. I have a Steph rant for you.
Yep. Engage. Sit back.
Sit back.
You're going to be shook.
Shooketh.
I'm shooketh.
So...
Like an earthquake.
Oh, you terrible Miriam.
Oh, there's going to be fallout.
Alright, so... This is what I'm going to title Steph's YouTube keyboard warrior story. Mm-hmm. So to set the scene, this was Monday morning, so this is yesterday for us. And I just got off the bus, said goodbye and thank you to the bus driver, and I got halfway across the road. And I had my headphones in and my data off, so as soon as I got a decent distance to the uni, my phone connected to the Wi-Fi data, because you know how you set it to connect automatically. And I got like a chime in my ear, which means that I have a notification. So I looked down at my phone and I saw that one of my subscribers was having a go at a person called George. And I was like, what have I missed? You know, is there a comment that I haven't seen? Did this comment just get put up today and I haven't, or early this morning or late last night, and I haven't had a chance to look at it? I don't know. So I refreshed my YouTube app and I see that George, in quotation marks, is having a go at me, and he made 3 comments, and this subscriber was pretty much defending me and telling him where to go, right? So I screenshot everything while I'm on my phone, and then I went where I was going to catch up with a friend before a lecture, because we were going to go through the required reading. And so while we're there, I whip out my computer, I delete his comments, I report him to YouTube, still haven't heard anything back, mind you. and I block him on YouTube as well. And I straight away went back to the subscriber, and because she had to deal with that, do you know what I mean? And I said in my video that, look, I don't normally put disclaimers, but for this one I was kind of like, look, I took a lot of shit for it, nowhere near as much as I got on Monday, but I had some people talking shit, and I was like, you know what, it really annoyed some people last year, and this year I'm not standing for it, so I have a no tolerance policy this year. Your comment's going to get deleted, you're going to get blocked.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to follow through with that, and at the same time I felt terrible that she had to deal with that, and she was like, no, don't be silly, don't apologise, you've done nothing wrong, you know, you reported him, good work, let me know how it goes, blah blah blah. So I go to class, and then I realised that if his settings are set a certain way, I can backtrack, go to his about section, and hit up his Google profile and find out who he is and stuff. So this idiot, he set up his YouTube account as like a burner spam trolling account, if that makes sense, hence the name George. And so I went through and I found like his email, where he, like the town he lives in, his date of birth, and this idiot, he used his uni given email to start these accounts so you can identify him.
Yeah, see, this is stupid. This is why you hide your handles.
Yeah, and you use burner email accounts to begin with. You set everything up from the ground up using a different name and everything.
Yeah.
So I found out that he was this graduate teacher and grad student at this uni in the US, and I went to their contacts page, and I emailed literally 40 people. I sent you the screenshot too. And I emailed everyone from the teaching student staff to the teaching staff to the actual tutors to the faculty heads and all the professors, and I emailed all of them the screenshots of everything he said, everything set up with this uni, because he's misusing this thing, and he's uni property essentially, and it makes the uni look bad and blah blah blah, and so because he's misusing it to run all these social media accounts. And then I get an email back at 4 this morning saying that although, he worked in the religious studies department in winter of 2015, he's actually a student of, I think it was a performing arts department, and that my email was forwarded to that deputy professor of that faculty or whatever. And then that bounced and they sent me to the chair of the department, and this person emailed me saying that, in quotation marks, I look forward to hearing that they look forward to hearing from me directly if I would like a further investigation regarding these allegations. And so at the end of the day, whether they reprimand, I emailed back and saying, I want you to investigate this.
Yep. And
in my actual message, I pretty much drove home the point of, regardless of what you study, regardless of what religion you are, that's not tolerated. No. Acceptance is tolerated.
Yes.
Acceptance is preached. Thirdly, this person is misusing essentially college property. You might want to get a handle on that.
Yeah, because that's not acceptable.
Thirdly, the fact that he's making these comments and you can find out who he is and he's tied to you makes not only your university look bad, but your department look bad. And so at the end of the day, I don't care if they reprimand him or not, whether they dismiss him or not. This asshole knows that I found him because they're going to tell him. Because I emailed him too in the CC, and they're gonna know that I found him, and that I hope for even a single fucking second this guy was shitting his fucking dacks.
Oh yeah,
when he found out, and he regretted his actions and thought, "Fuck, I fucked up," because someone would have told him that all of this was going down.
Then again, maybe he would have cared.
I don't know, but I liked it. I don't know. But anyway, that was it. That was pretty much all I had to say about that topic,
But that was pretty crazy, and that was pretty intense.
What do you do? Alright, so, our quiz of the day. Right on. Everyone else, this will be in the episode notes.
Mm-hmm.
So you can take it with us. But these 7 questions will reveal which Marvel character actually matches your personality. So, are you loaded?
Yep.
Are you fully loaded?
I'm loaded and...
Alright, so question 1 is pick a villain. We've got Loki, we've got Thanos, we've got Ultron, we've got Hela, we've got Red Skull, and we've got Vulture. Was Vulture in Guardians of the Galaxy?
No.
Sure. Yeah, you're such a lie. It's from Guardians of the Galaxy. Terrible human being.
I know, right?
I'm gonna go for Loki. You didn't know, did you? You didn't know. That's why you made me feel like shit. Are you participating in this? Alright, so pick a superpower for question 2.
Red Skull?
You going for Red Skull?
Yeah, I'm going for Red Skull.
Okay, Cap. Strength. They didn't spell invisibility right, but I'll look past that. Mind control, super speed, flight, or no powers, just a lot of money.
Yeah, I'm going to go mind control.
Me too. Oh, I already have strength. I don't want to be invisible. I don't want to be faster than I already am. We got this.
So, next one. Pick a DC hero.
I'm sorry, wasn't this a Marvel universe? Okay, whatever.
Yep. Pick a DC hero.
We got Supergirl.
Batman. I'm Batman.
Superman, The Flash, Wonder Woman, or Aquaman. I'm going to go for Soups.
Yep, I went for Soups.
I love Soups.
So, also, pick a superhero TV show. And then we have...
Jessica Jones.
Gotham. Arrow. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Daredevil or Legion. I'm going to go for Arrow. I love Arrow.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay. You haven't even watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I've seen some of it.
Pick a member
Agent
of the
Coulson is hilarious.
We've got Quicksilver here, Wolverine, Storm,
Rogue,
Jean Grey, or Beast.
Well, technically in that photo she's Dark Phoenix, but yeah. So who do you reckon you go for?
Dark Phoenix? Oh, yeah, Dark Phoenix.
I'm going to go Wolverine.
What does Rogue do again besides she's a succubus?
No. That's sort of Mystique. But Rogue can, if she touches someone, she gains their powers.
That's what I mean, but she drains their life, doesn't she? She can kill them.
No, she can if she wants to, but she doesn't always.
I'm going to go for, I know it's Red Phoenix, but I'm going to go Jean Grey. How much does Scarlet Witch look like her?
Yeah, heaps.
Pick a sci-fi movie from the last decade. We've got Pacific Rim, Blade Runner 2049, Annihilation,
yeah.
Ex Machina, Mad Max Fury Road, or Star Wars The Force Awakens. I don't like any of these movies.
I went for Blade Runner 2049 just because the concept of replicants and everything is pretty cool.
You didn't even watch that movie, so how can
I've
you
seen the trailers, but it looks cool.
Alright, so here's what I'm going to go for. Pacific Rim or Mad Max?
Okay.
Because, like, on one hand, Charlie Dunham, who swoon,
mm-hmm.
or Mad Max Fury Road, because I have, like, let's just, I don't know. Dude, what do I do? Do I want to do Mad Max? But I did like Pacific Rim more than I like Mad Max. I'm going to go Pacific Rim. Alright. Pick a character to have a crush on. Scarlet Witch, Bucky Barnes, Nakia, Thor, Star-Lord, or Gamora. Star-Lord.
I went for Gamora.
Alright. You go? Your turn.
I got Steve Rogers / Captain America. So, you're always worrying about doing the right thing and people are surprised that you act a lot older than you look. You also have a strong sense of justice and it really bothers you when something doesn't do something of a leader and prefer to be in charge rather than go by someone else's rules. But even then, when you're leading something, you try to be diplomatic and listen to everyone's input.
I got Valkyrie.
Woohoo!
Not you, Valkyrie. I'm pretty badass and I don't give a fuck about much. I'm happy to keep to myself and don't like to get too involved in other people's business if I can help it. People often misunderstand you as being standoffish as you put walls around yourself. But once they get to know you, they realise how great a friend you are. So while you might have a tough exterior, those close to you know you're more sensitive than you seem. So I like Valkyrie. She's pretty cool. I named one of our children after her.
Yes,
so,
very cool.
Alright. That's that. I would have liked to have gone for like I was aiming to get Scarlet Witch, but no. I'm fine with Valkyrie. Not you, Valkyrie. Alright, cool. Alrighty, hoity-toity then. Are we ready for our regularly scheduled programming?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yes, we are. Also, funny thing.
Yeah.
Regarding Vulture.
Yeah, bruv.
Vulture actually is in Spider-Man.
Yeah, but he was at the end of the post-credit scene in Guardians 2,
with the mask.
wasn't he? Yeah.
No, he's in Spider-Man.
I know he's in Spider-Man, but I swear he was in the post-credit scene.
Maybe I looked in the popcorn at that point.
I swear, because I haven't seen... I don't know. I'm an idiot. Don't mind me.
No, it's funny.
I haven't seen the new...
Spider-Man.
Look, okay. I know everyone's going to be like, Stephanie, the movies were ridiculous back in the early 2000s. But I have two things to say, okay? Thing number one, Spider-Man was my first superhero that I grew up with.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? That was the movie trilogy that was being made during my formative years.
Yep.
You've seen, like my mum gave me all of my old books.
Yep.
How much of the old school Spider-Man books and Star Wars shit that even you hadn't seen and you didn't know existed. So I'm an OG, Spider-Man fan.
Yeah.
So I don't want to... I know everyone's going to say, oh my God, but the new ones... How many are there? There are 3 now, right? Because there's Tobey Maguire, which is my holy trilogy. And then, yeah, I know the third one got real awkward real fast, but let's disregard that for a moment. And then there's the Andrew Garfield, which I saw movie 1. And I was like, he's too young, don't like him. And I haven't seen any of this British dude do any, but whatever.
Yep. Interesting.
So I don't plan on watching the Homecoming, whatever baby Spider-Man shit is. Okay, continuing on. I got this email from Tumblr a couple of days ago, and apparently, according to their commitment to transparency, Tumblr wanted to let me know that they uncovered and terminated 84 accounts that are linked to the Internet Research Agency, which is a group closely tied to the Russian government, because they were posing as members of the Tumblr community.
Okay.
And they apparently engage in electronic disinformation... Sorry, I'm just going to read straight off the email here. Engages in electronic disinformation and propaganda campaigns, blah, 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 around the world using phony social media accounts. When they were uncovered, they notified law enforcement, terminated the accounts, and deleted their original posts. And they listed all the names, what they were previously known as, and pretty much said that I wasn't in trouble, I didn't take any action if I didn't want to, the deleted accounts were there, but if I had reblogged any of their photos or any of the chains, I still had those curated on my Tumblr and stuff, and that, Tumblr respected my personal views and perspectives, blah, blah, blah. And then they've said here, democracy requires transparency and an informed electorate, and we take our disclosure responsibly and very seriously. We'll be aggressively watching for disinformation campaigns in the future, take the appropriate action, and make sure you know about it. So I need Tumblr to take over the world.
Yeah.
Tumblr will do a better job than a lot of world leaders that we have presently. Straight away, got on top of it, and we're like clearing them out. Deleted. Here they are,
Yeah.
You're not affected, but if you have any questions, let us know.
Yeah.
Straight away. Like, no questions asked, done.
To the point, problem solved.
And the only thing I dislike about Tumblr, and this is what I'm scared about, if I ever applied to work at ASIO, they're going to go through my Tumblr history, and even though I'm like, study blog, or study tips, or study notes, looking for, how I like to look at the artsy study blogs and how they set out their notes, you get porn on that shit, even though you have safety search on. Yeah. So ASIO is going to think that I do naughty things.
Yeah, and you're going to get flagged.
And I ain't going to get a job at ASIO because of Tumblr, but I like Tumblr, apart from the porn aspect. But anywho, moving on, John Wick 3 filming is starting in a week and a half. I think it's going to be out in cinemas on the 17th of May. And when I was actually searching for this, I found out that there's a spin-off series that they're making. It's called The Continental. It's picked up by the same TV show that owns Outlander now, Stars.
Yep.
And they picked up the rights to the John Wick universe TV show. John Wick will be played by Keanu Reeves. John Wick will still be John Wick.
Yep.
And he's going to make guest appearances, but it is going to focus on the inner workings of the hotel. And as far as I could see, there's no release date yet.
So essentially, it's the John Wick. It's
the Marvel universe,
Continental.
but assassins.
So basically, they're gonna the show will be called the
Las
Continental.
Vegas, but you know the TV show Las Vegas?
Yes.
The one that you bought me like 3-4 years ago?
Yeah.
I reckon it'll be that, but assassins. It's New York.
Yeah, and I think because, no assassinations occur on the Continental grounds, but
So them dealing with a ton of stuff.
they'll be all the assassins going through, and yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Are you excited for it?
Yeah, it should be good. But, yeah.
Coolio. Alright, so this first story I thought was interesting to say the least. We both like ancient Egypt. Apparently there are these brown and black spots that have been growing on paintings. I don't think they call them murals or whatever, but the paintings and burial chamber walls in King Tut's tomb. Egyptian authorities were concerned that these might be like microorganisms growing on the walls, and that they had been inoculated and they were going to contaminate everything. And then they thought that it was driven by humidity and sweaty bodies of all the tourists walking in and out, which I didn't realise you could actually do. But a group of scientists from the Getty Conservation Institute in LA, they determined that they're not like alive. Personally, I think it's just like oxidation spots.
Yeah.
But hey, what do I know? And it's not a threat to the tomb. So now the government is going to be policing and managing visitor access a little bit better. So they're going to put in like restrictions and guidelines. They're suggesting that there's going to be a maximum number of visitors to control the humidity in the tombs and stuff, and carbon dioxide levels, because again, I'm assuming they don't want that oxidation or whatnot. They're going to install filtered air supply units and a exhaust ventilation system just to keep the humidity down. So, because if you have a look at it, and like I've seen these spots in other tombs in movies before and documentaries, so I didn't realise that, what do you do?
Basically shut it down and wait for them to find out a reason why it's all happening. Because you think about it, once it's gone, it's gone.
You think that they'd take photos of everything in video footage now, though? But what do you do? So, on this story, again, I wanted to talk about it because I wanted to slam it, but I'm not naming names. I know you can, with a few keywords that I'm going to say, you can quite easily Google this information, but again, like we've done in other stories we've spoken about before, I don't want to be the one giving that information because this is not that kind of thing. But basically a couple has been charged with, in quotation marks, prayer healing their baby, who doctors have come out and testified in court and said that she would still be alive today if they had done what they were supposed to do and had sought medical attention. So they attributed the baby's passing, this is the parents, to God's will, and their defence system is pushing the angle that, they didn't know how sick and how serious it was. Because, we just thought she had a flu or a cold and that was completely normal. And, there was nothing wrong here. But bottom line, they belong to a congregation that instructs its members to avoid doctors and pharmaceuticals. So that's why they were prayer healing her. This
pisses me off. I mean, okay, so essentially, it's like, let's just hope for the best. There's an actual virus. Let's just hope for the best. Yes, we can cure this. So essentially, me talking to a TV, me talking to an animal, it's just weird. It's just weird.
I don't think... They don't know. They don't know. They don't care. They just assume that they're in the right, and because they fear more being kicked out of, you know, their religion as opposed to their baby, the welfare of their baby.
Exactly. Which is just stupid. So...
And I'm sorry. And, like, we both grew up in uber religious homes.
Yeah, so...
we both went to religious schools. And I'm not going to say that I'm not Bible bashery. I'm not like, oh my God, I have to go. I don't believe that you have to be so strict about your code of conduct. And, you know, I don't think that going to church every week or twice a week makes you a good person or a good Christian. Or I think it's about how you take that information. It's more about acceptance and all that. And just forgiveness and all that stuff. But what really enrages me when people are like, oh, you know, that child or that person died. Oh, it's God's plan.
Yeah, that's stupid. That really is
like,
stupid.
Not to get all theology, like, but what entity would make someone suffer unwarrantedly for a bigger master plan?
I don't know, but it's...
I don't understand this God's will.
Like, how many times have we supposedly supposed to have Armageddon or, you know, even Y2K? Oh, no, everything's going to end. It's just, yeah, it's a bit stupid.
I don't know. Alright, moving along. Winter calving season for endangered whale species in the southeast US coast went terrible this year. The season ends on the 1st of April. The season ends on the 1st of April, and pretty much no calves were spotted, and this is the first reproductive drought in 30 years.
Really?
So, you know, it's really fucking shit. And the season, like I said, wraps up this weekend. They're not expecting any late births, and because they haven't spotted any pregnant whales whatsoever. So, they're supposed to have a minimum of 17 births per year, I think is what the 30-year stats are since the last drought. But that has halved. Like, that halved in 2015, that halved in 2016, that halved in 2017, and now we didn't have any.
Yeah. So
it's like, it halved what it was. Let me explain this nicely. Eloquently. So in 2016 we had 17 births. In 2015 we had 17 births.
Yeah.
In 2016 we had 17 divided by 2. And then whatever that number equates to, last year we had that divided by 2. So it's a quarter last year of what it was supposed to be. And this year we didn't get any.
That's weird. So... essentially, if you look at the long-term effects of this, if you're not getting any calving by these whales, you know, it's going to drop off. I mean, and essentially what's happened is, you know, that's no more, done.
Yeah, but you'd think that they'd, do you risk taking them out of their environment? And, not breeding them per se, but, doing genetic... I don't want to say, a genetic bank, but do you risk... is cloning the right word? Getting a library of their DNA and flagging and getting blood samples of as many as you possibly can, so that way you... Not to say, I don't want to say that way they have a library of their genes, if anything. But you know what I mean? So that way the diversity is still there on the genetic level. So that way, if they needed to clone, they have a large diversity now, as opposed to later. Does that... English? Do you know what I mean? That they start doing some conservation now. I don't know. I probably sound like an idiot.
No, I don't get why... they go, everything can be studied, but, we'll do all this scientific whaling. Oh yeah, we're doing scientific whaling, all the scientific whaling, but essentially it's null and void, because if you're doing all the scientific whaling, but you need to kill whales to do it, or you need to kill an animal.
But they wouldn't need to kill them to, like, I don't want to say harvest a blood sample, but to gather a blood sample so that way they can be like, oh, you know, we want the exact opposite of what happened with the white rhinos. We are going to, get some genes, get their genome, so that way we can make a library, and that way if there is what do they call it? A cyclone?
Yeah.
When they crash, like species population crashes, and then they can be like, we can make this combination of whale, and we can make that combination of whale, and then we can make this combination of whale, and then you go, so that way they have more diversity stored up.
Yeah.
So that way, should another event happen, or maybe there is something going on that we don't know about that, is impacting, their survival rates and their birth rates and their longevity.
But I look at it too. Say, for instance, if you kill 1,000 whales per season, but they're only...
Oh, no, this isn't killing them. This is merely just tracking them.
Tracking them. But retrospectively, you look back and you go, okay, if the scientific whaling side of things goes down you're killing the whales. Say you kill 1,000 whales in a season, and then you pretty much only carve 17, you're dropping the numbers.
Yeah, a lot.
And then the next season, you don't get any calves, but you've killed 2,000 whales for scientific reasons.
Yeah.
You're essentially just killing them.
Exacerbating the problem. You're not... Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't know. Do people not care?
I don't know, but it's just stupid. And that's going to have groundbreaking effects in the sense that, oh, look, they're all gone. What do we do? We'll move on to something else to harvest. Oh, look, they're all gone.
What do they harvest them for?
Sushi.
But I thought that was tuna.
Nope. So, it's, sushi.
Wait, so sushi's...
Well, fish meat, essentially, so...
But I thought that that it was tuna that was sushi. Or is it salmon?
Well, essentially, there's a provision in that the Japanese can use to kill the whales for scientific purposes. But the thing is, Norway and Iceland have always also used this to get around the rules. So, I mean, they're still going to use whale meat.
Mm.
So, that's the annoying thing. Because everyone wants... Well, you think about it, it's expensive. So...
Why do they say that they're harvesting for, like, research if they're not?
Well, essentially, hardly any information is going to be coming from scientific whaling. It's basically just commercial whaling, but disguised as scientific whaling. So essentially, depending on, which countries are doing it, they have their own catch limits.
Right on.
So if you've got certain catch limits, these catch limits are not dished out by the Whaling Commission. So essentially what you're doing is you're just killing whales, and then scientific whaling permits require...
What do they say they're actually doing when...
Well, it says that all they really say is, once they use it, we're conducting experiments, but the permit requires that the whale meat needs to be used.
No, I know that, but what I'm asking is, what bullshit are they saying when they're like, what experiments are they lying about and saying that they're doing?
Well, they could say, this percentage of, whales have this. Oh, these are the amazing...
we did this, and, their fins were this long.
Yeah, and then...
And, their lungs were this long, and, we found this organism from their belt, from their stomach that they had been eating, and blah, 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 blah.
Exactly, but
Right
everything else is... And it's just sold, so...
It's bullshit. Really, really is. But, yeah. Alright. Moving on. Malcolm Turnbull, who is Australia's Prime Minister, has announced this week that he's expelling 2 undeclared Russian diplomats after the nerve gas attack last week. And he stated that it was the first offensive use of chemical weapons in Europe since World War II.
Gotta love that.
That it was reckless and deliberate, and that Russia is harming global security and violating the rules against chemical weapons. But these 2 diplomats have 7 days to leave the country.
Yeah, so we've still got Cold War shenanigans going on.
Yep.
Essentially.
Pretty much.
So it makes you wonder how many other people have been taken out.
Yep. That have been reported that we don't know about.
I mean, you look at how many people there are on the planet. I'm sure there's a few that have just gone, poof, vanished, gone.
I think that shit will hit the fan, and there's a lot of...
Well, it makes people scared.
Yeah, like I feel like there's a lot of insecurity going on. I don't know.
So, what happens if someone was to do, chemical weapons attack in Australia?
We'd be fucked. Like, okay, so say that I was on a bus, right? Say that I was on a bus and I got, the umbrella murder conspiracy. Say that someone put a pellet in me. Would I wouldn't... What would I do? I'd be like, it's just a cold, I just got stabbed. Unless I saw the umbrella itself, I'd be like, it was a mosquito bite.
Yeah.
Scratch it a bit. Sorry, that's the fridge. And, I'm just living my life, blah, blah, blah. But I wouldn't know what to do. Where do you go? Who do you talk to? People would be like, oh no, you're... pretending, and I don't know. I don't think it's not common enough that people would know what to do, but it's common enough that we know it happens. Does that make sense?
It's a little worrying, to say the least. So, to go through and look at possible outcomes would bend your mind. But there's only going to be a case of, look, what happens when diplomats, start going down or leaving countries, or people start getting really sick. Oh, this happened in this particular area of, say, this particular city, and you sort of go, we think it may be a gas attack or this. And then it's not so much a case of, this has happened, but it could even be fake. If it's fake, it's enough to actually scare the populace.
Panic.
Yeah, and panic is the best weapon you can get, because, once people start getting scared...
That's it, it's all over.
Yeah, all over Red Rover.
Yeah, I agree. We're going to be talking about Elon Musk for a little while today.
Okay.
So apparently Tesla shares have dropped 15% in the last, what would be 9.5 trading days for us. But apparently they've gone into debt since January this year because they're not making enough cars to alleviate any of their debt. To hold their equity, they have been advised to offer more shares to the market because their leases were renewed in January. That means that they don't have enough money to raise enough capital to keep their investors and everything happy and the banks happy. So many financial predictors are saying that if this continues without any fresh capital, and if they're not going to be... they're saying that Elon needs to, bite his pride, take back his pride a little bit, and just go go to the public domain and put more shares out in his company. Yeah. Because then he's unburdening the load upon himself, and he can get more money in for the company. But at the same time, they're saying you can't expect... to make, they're prestige cars, quotation marks, in terms of efficiency and technology, but it's not like it's an Aston Martin where it takes you half a year to build it, and you know that you're only one of the 1,000 people. You know, it's prestige. We're talking or like a Rolls Royce Phantom.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's a different thing. So you can't be. And how much money does Rolls Royce have behind them that they can tie themselves over, and they've got all their other projects happening? So people are saying that, you know, unless they either put more cars out on the market to raise capital, or they put more shares out in the public domain, Tesla will cease to exist in 12 months.
Yeah. But then you look at it, is it planned? Because here's the thing. Look at the Tesla car, like the actual car itself. You know, look at the specs at it. And you see,
it ain't that great.
No, it's not.
It's just technology driven.
Yes. But here's the thing. Electric cars, sustainable energy.
It's got a good premise, but the thing is we don't have the technology to sustain that just yet.
But you know what it is? People primarily make money, big money, from oil.
Yeah.
And oil.
Big money.
Big money. Now what happens if you create sustainable energy? Who's making money?
If you're making sustainable energy, the only person making money is the person selling the car and the people who buy the car.
Exactly. Where's all the oil going? Where's the crude oil? It's who's going to be making petroleum? No one's, and that is big business, massive business. And then once you cut that, people don't go.
I have a question for you. Are you one of those people that believes there's a lot more oil around than people are letting us believe there is? Not that I'm saying that there's enough oil to sustain us forever, but are you one of those people who believes that there is more oil than they're telling us there is?
Absolutely. I mean, look at it this way. We know that oil is a byproduct of organic matter.
Thousands and thousands and thousands of years.
Yes, exposed to pressure over thousands of years. So therefore, if you look at it and go, cool, I like dinosaurs, but I don't need to dig them up in the form of drilling to make plastic dinosaurs. Because eventually you can only fill the world with so many plastic dinosaurs before you use up the fossilized dinosaurs and organic plant matter. It's non-renewable. It's going to get to a point and then it's all gone. So essentially you want something that's going to last. Okay, cool, nuclear power. We're running with nuclear power. Cool, it's efficient. But the problem is you get fallout. Lots of fallout. Bad fallout. So it's a case of what do you want to do to make money? Because then people go, okay, cool, you have a nuclear way of making energy. But the problem is, then you get, okay, cool, we can make weapons. Yay! Oh no, you have weapons. Oh no. You don't,
plasma cannons.
Plasma cannons. You don't see people going, oh no, you have plastic dinosaurs. Oh, I'm scared of you. Oh, well, I've got a plastic brontosaurus. Oh, this is a triceratops. Oh,
Sarah, it's a Sarah.
You know, so yeah, I think all in all, I know for a fact that in Russia they're sitting on lakes of oil.
Yeah.
Like just frozen lakes of oil. But when the oil reserves run low,
that's where they'll go.
That's where they'll go. So basically,
they're basically investing in their future.
Russia is sitting on a gold mine.
To tell you how much... Alright, so I went to the Tesla Australia website, right? And to get the Model X and the P1000D, which is apparently the ultimate Tesla you can get, it's the SUV, 0 to 100 in 3.1 seconds, 542k per tank or per gallon or whatever the fuck it is. It's a 100 kilowatt battery power, performance all-wheel drive, blah blah blah. Let's just say, look, I know car specs, right? And if you're about to chew your nails, I will throw something at you, so please remove them from your chompers. But you get an 8-year infinite kilometre battery and drive unit warranty, and the 4-year 80,000 kilometre limited warranty. But can I just say, right, the car itself is worth $203,600. I could do so much more money.
You could buy a house for that.
So much in terms of cars.
Yeah.
I could. That's 3/4 of an Aston Martin.
Yeah. Just push it to an Aston Martin.
Right? And then on top of that, you have to pay another $47,000 between registration, stamp duty, the luxury car tax itself is almost $40,000, and local CTP. So what's the bloody point? And say that I was fucking loaded out my fucking ass, right? And $250,000 was less than 5 cents to me. I would not get my car till June.
You know what I look at and go, why would you bother paying $200K for a Tesla when you can pay $160K and get a base V10 bloody Audi R8? You know, you look at it and go, if I had to choose between a Tesla and an Audi R8, I'd go for an Audi R8.
So would I.
Because it's an Audi R8.
But the thing is, it's not even like you're paying $250-something thousand for a 4-wheel drive that's not 4-wheel drive.
No.
Could you imagine taking this fucking 4-wheel and anyone will be like, someone will say to me, oh, but it's not a 4-wheel driving car. I'm sorry, but if you have an SUV with all-wheel drive and you're paying fucking $250,000, that shit better poop out fucking gold when I switch on the fucking engine.
Bricks, yo.
My Tesla better shit out fucking platinum.
Jeez, for $250K, my Teslas will be shitting out platinum. Jeez. So, essentially, looking at the specs, if you compare them up against all the top quality cars, Tesla, I can see why Tesla is going downhill, but if it was I don't know, do they have a hybrid of fuel and electric?
You know what?
Because people love the sound
of hybrid.
I mean, okay, they don't love the sound of hybrid, but a hybrid makes more sense. Fuel, people associate fuel with power. So a V10...
They're charging people an extra $8.3K to get an extra seat.
What?
To go from a 5-seat to a 6-seat, right? You have to pay an extra $8,300.
That's a pretty expensive seat.
To go from a 5-seat to a 7-seat, it's cheaper though. You only pay $4,100. How is it half the price to get two as it is to get one? Can someone talk about this business model? I don't understand. Okay. Anyway, so this is our second Elon Musk story. People are getting shitty because Musk is pushing his own brand instead of Tesla. And this week he announced that included this story here because I know you're going to fanboy over Lego so fucking hard and I wanted to watch. He wants to sell interlocking bricks made from rock that his tunnel-making machines are excavating, and these kits will allow you to build life-size replicas of the Sphinx and Temple of Horus. There's no mention of price, what models or kits you can actually buy to mimic features, or when they will become available.
Okay,
buckling up. Yes, hit me with it.
You know what the first thing people are going to do now? I don't know about you, but personally, I'd be building a Death Star. We roughly know how many bricks it is. Heck, we could build Star Destroyers. We can build TIE Fighters. We can build damn near anything.
I think when I read the article and in his Twitter post, because you know how he updates everything through Twitter, he was like, because I'm so inspired by ancient Egypt. I love ancient Egypt. So he's going to do you call it a collection? I don't know. He's going to push his ancient Egypt line first. But the thing is, when I say life size, he means literal life size.
Yeah.
Like 1-to-1 ratio.
Yeah.
This isn't Lego. But doesn't Lego own the patent for interlocking bricks?
No. They couldn't. It actually went through the Supreme Court because I think Lego tried to sue Mega Bloks.
But they had it first.
At the end of the day, you can't patent an interlocking system because it's just an interlocking system.
How much did they have to pay NASA for Velcro?
That is a good question. I don't know. Because essentially you're just putting together shapes.
Mega Brands secured the legal trademark.
There you
go. Mega Brands owns interlocking discs.
So that's... So Lego tried to... There we go.
What did I just say? After Lego?
God
damn, I was going to Google it. Oh, what was I saying? Who owns the patent about... God damn it, Stephanie. So this is my only fault. If I remembered things as fast as I talk shit, I would have been through med school 5 times by now. What did I say? Who owns the patent for something dark side?
Well, interlocking bricks.
No, after interlocking bricks, I said something. And you were like, that's a good question.
Well, when we play this podcast through, we'll
damn
remember.
it. Alright, and then I'll write it down and we'll talk about it next week. Oh, damn it. Where was I going with this? Okay, so, next Elon Musk story. Read this article yesterday saying that when the Falcon 9 was launched last year in late August, it ripped a 560-mile hole in the ionosphere. It wasn't permanent, and it was attributed to the second stage rocket burn through plasma in that sphere, like that portion of the atmosphere, 13 minutes after the rocket had launched and it was in its flight plan. And because humans use the ionosphere for radio waves and GPS, if you used the GPS that day, your GPS would have miscalculated your destination by 1 meter.
Whoops. That's enough to get you lost.
I don't know. I was just like, oh, wow.
Break in the sky.
So, yeah. Okay, one flat earther story this week.
Oh, here we go. What's been pushed off at this time?
You're going to laugh, but okay. So, a flat earther launched himself 2,000 feet into the air in a homemade rocket. He is, in quotation marks, a self-taught rocket scientist. Not my words, his. Like, literally, you can read the article and watch the video. He has his own YouTube channel, and he's got more subscribers than me. His rocket was crowdfunded, and he set out to, literally, his words, he set out to double check that it was frisbee shaped. He didn't say what he saw though.
Yeah.
But he wants to run for the governor of Cali.
You know what? He'll probably get it. He will probably get it. You know, it's like, okay, 350 miles per hour. Let's just shoot ourselves straight up and then come back down again. Maybe his parachute should have failed. That would have been a good thing. He would have hit the ground and realised.
Well, apparently it did, and he had to pull out his second parachute.
Yeah.
But he still hit the ground too heavy, and apparently he was lucky to still be alive or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But he walked away. He shot himself up in what's that? Mojave?
Yeah, Mojave.
In California, I think. That's where he went. But
so
what do you do?
What a muppet. Complete muppet.
Oh no. Okay, so next story. A company called, I don't know if it's ALE or ALE, but they're going to start selling artificial meteor showers. The look on your face is very, what the hell are you talking about? Let me explain. What?
They're basically going to just put shit in the sky and watch it burn.
Yeah, but it gets better than this. They're going to drop metal pellets into the atmosphere so that they burn different colours based on whatever element the pellet is. Copper pellets, obviously, we already know this will burn green, barium blue, potassium, rubidium, and cesium because they're all cesiums, various shades of purple depending on how many elements they have. I think the more elements they have, the more electrons and shit they have, the darker the purple is. I can't remember off the top of my head, but a single satellite will carry 1,000 of these pellets. And it's going to cost $300 million US dollars to get this project off the ground. And the first sky show will be over Hiroshima in Japan mid-year next year.
Now, let's just say, I don't think Hiroshima is the best place to be dropping shit from the sky, purely because it's already happened twice and it didn't turn out too well. So I think very bad taste, very poor choice.
Is it because it's an anniversary?
$300 million just to burn shit up in the atmosphere? Wait. It is an anniversary. So it's the anniversary of...
I think. Let me just double check this.
Hiroshima?
Just let me double check this. Let me double check this.
Because otherwise that's really poor.
Let me just double check this.
That'd be bad.
Oh no, that was when the city was founded. It was founded in 1889 as a city. So maybe that's why they're doing 2019.
Maybe, but
I don't know. Sorry, I just wanted to double check.
All the places, why Hiroshima? That's yeah.
I'm sorry. do we really think that dropping shit from the
I think
sky
that's
is a good idea? Also, what happens if it impacts a flight plan?
What
How
happens,
low does the fucking thing have to be?
What happens if one of these pellets doesn't burn up and smack someone in the head?
Dead. It'll be
Insta-kill.
like the freaking Simpsons episode where someone drops a 20-cent coin from the top of the tower and it goes in what's his face's head, and he lifts it out of his head and it's like a cap and blood pours out, so he's got to put the coin back in.
Yeah.
That's the only part of the Simpsons I ever watched. And I tell this story to everyone over and over again. I wasn't allowed to watch The Simpsons because in my mother's religious haze, only evil bad people watch The Simpsons. And then 5 years later, she gave birth to my brother. And what is it with the restrictions that are placed upon the first child? Is it because I am XX genomically? Or is it, and I don't have a penis between my legs? Or is it that she was so, I turned out perfectly fine, that she was like, oh no, I don't need these restrictions anymore. I'm over enforcing shit by the first child.
First one, let's just hope they survive long enough to,
She gave me a 5-year track record and was like, okay, I can get this one past 5 years. Yep. She'll be fine.
All good.
She's out on her own. I was a very independent kid. Let's just say that.
And also, talking about other shit falling from the sky, we have a failing space station from China.
I don't think it's failing.
Okay.
I think it's like, you can't say controlled death.
Well, if it's falling, it's failed. So obviously,
No, it's past its lifetime.
So they're dropping
like they already have the second one up there.
Yeah.
So it's falling out of orbit. But this is China's falling space station.
So Tianzhong 1 is going to hit Earth's atmosphere this Easter weekend.
But the trick is they don't know where and they don't know when.
And, I mean, it only weighs 7.7 metric tons. And it's currently travelling at 29,000 kilometres per hour in orbit, 270 kilometres above Earth. So basically, this orbit's going to be determined roughly where it's going to land.
And they're not even tracking it. They're getting German research.
Yeah.
The German researchers
and they're
are tracking
saying
it.
It's between 43 degrees north and 43 degrees south.
Let me see where this is. 43
and they'll probably monitor it and,
north.
provide updates in case it decides to take out a hot air balloon.
Was it 43 north, 43 east, or 43 west?
43 north, 43 south. So...
let's see where this is.
If it comes up... Whereabouts is it?
Fuck.
Whereabouts is it? Houston, we have a winner?
Houston. Where did the line go? Can someone put the line back? How do I get out? Go back. Okay.
This is going to be good.
That line crosses the Mediterranean.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally across the world at 43 degrees. Anywhere there.
That's not that bad.
So Southern Hemisphere is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But if you live in the Northern Hemisphere, chances are
Something's
set in the middle of your fucking hemisphere.
You're going to be doing science.
Canada, you're fine.
Eh?
South Africa, you're fine.
Eh?
43. Can I get another 43? Pretty much everything south of Georgia, like the country Georgia. No. Sorry. If you're in line with Russia, anything below Russia and the equator is where it's going to hit.
Oh boy.
Fuck. I'm just gonna close that story. And they don't even have the audacity to track it, to intervene or anything. And I read the article, and they're just hoping that it's just gonna break apart into a billion tiny pieces and burn away to a crisp before it hits
So
Earth.
what happens if it stays intact and literally, stays intact and hits ground? Imagine that.
But apparently, according to this article, I fucking love science. That hasn't happened, and it's very unlikely that it'll hit someone or a house or some shit like that.
Unlikely.
So,
probability. Causality.
Cause. Effect.
Hmm.
Alright, so talking about cause and effect.
Beer time.
Heineken. who I used to admire as a company because they supported Liverpool, and they used to have a fantastic business model.
The tennis as well.
Yeah. They're being slammed because of their tagline in their new light beer campaign, lighter is better. And this racist ad was playing on TV in prime time, and a lot of obviously people of colour, and white people had a lot to say. I think how much are they worth? Because first off, Heineken's been around, I want to say almost 100 years, but I don't know. I want to check this before I talk shit. Oh, and now I'm Googling it and I'm finding out that they exploit labour. Heineken is known for its use of labour broking in South Africa, through which it is able to effectively pay exploitative wages, in some cases as low as under $20 an hour per 12-hour shift. I'm sorry, isn't that what you work? Okay, I'm not trying to belittle any problem or first world problems to some of its South African workers, and the company absolves itself from responsibility by claiming that these workers were employed by a third-party service provider, even though they're workers at Heineken facilities alongside in-house Heineken employees, and that therefore they are not responsible. Wow. The more you know.
Yep.
They've been around since 1873. What is the Netherlands' stance on racism?
Probably high. They probably did it more. Maybe they had a few Heineken and then...
Because they're Dutch. Okay, I did not mean any of that. I wasn't intending for that to go where it was. Oh, fucking hell, Stephanie. You just made yourself out to be the biggest fucking idiot.
Nah, it's all good. But look, on the bright side, a lot of
God.
things are going up and coming crashing back down again in this episode. So I'm thinking we titled this podcast, What Goes Up Must Come Down.
But I was going to call it shitting platinum. My Tesla better shit platinum. I'm sorry, I swear I didn't mean to offend anyone. Do you know my mother worked for a Dutch bank?
That's pretty cool.
No, it's not cool.
Did she get free
She
labor?
promoted fucking racism in the apartheid. She worked for a Dutch bank that dealt in it.
Well, there you go.
Did she know?
Probably not.
Jesus fucking Christ. Do you know what I also learned? That Porsche is German Nazi money.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah,
I'm surprised that cars don't run on gas.
They do. Some do. Thank you very much.
Bad joke. Don't laugh.
Have you ever been in a dual fuel car and heard it turn over?
No.
Okay, it sounds like a bomb's gone. This used to be. Oh, what did he have?
Bang!
He had I want to say M80, but that was the license plate. It was a Mercedes, and these were the first SUV Mercedeses to come out in 2002, 2003, something like that. I'd have to ask my mother for the exact dates.
Yeah.
It was through the company called Capital, and we were the third taxi in Australia purchased through. We were with Silvertop at that point in time, and he wanted the car because he wanted it. We were too good to get a Mercedes family car, right? We had to do one better, and we had to get a Mercedes van that he could run the fucking guts out of, and that he'd watered down the fucking engine and had to get it rebuilt 4 fucking times because, oh no, the fucking man didn't realise that that's what they sell degreaser for. Engines aren't clean because they wash them with fucking water and a dustpan broom. No, they're clean because you use a degreaser. But my dad didn't have, my other ex, my sex-determining genome parent didn't brain, okay? I don't know. I don't know how I've gotten this far in life being half dumb.
Nah.
But okay. But anyway, so we had to get the van, and it would roar and click, and he'd deliberately not fuel it because he thought it was fucking fantastic. And so he'd have one for one day and fill up the other tank for the next day. And so he'd drive around in his automobile and it would kick in and the back 3/4 of the car would shake
because
of the fucking fuel pump.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah, you're supposed to... nah, that's not good. That's not good. You're supposed to run them a little bit each day just to keep them going. Otherwise, if you don't, it's like, you know, letting all the...
Oh, keep in mind this was a cab.
Yeah, letting all the dust run out of the cupboard, you know. Woof!
Yeah.
It's like, you know, when you're doing 100 k's an hour and then someone fucking shifts the gears from drive to reverse.
Hey, it wasn't me.
Fucking, that's how you kill your fucking transmission.
I love how it was his first time in your car.
Oops, bang.
And he did it, and you looked at him and you were like, that better not have been fucking deliberate. And he was like, I swear to fucking God it wasn't.
Bye-bye transmission,
like,
bye-bye.
It didn't, your transmission, look. Your car is perfect.
No, the old car, not this one.
Oh, I wasn't there for that.
No, like my other car, when
the other.
He wrecked the transmission and it ended up being like $2,000 to get the transmission.
Did you pay for it?
No, I had to. He killed it. Basically.
What about that time you drove with your handbrake on?
Oh, that's fine. That was just new brake pads.
Flaming red.
Yeah,
the heat went to the fence.
The fence was orange, but. I was wondering why, you know, I wasn't getting much, you know. Yeah, it smelled like...
Did you not hear it?
No, it was just...
You didn't drive different?
I had to really put my foot down to get... Because I had too much... It felt like I was towing a trailer, but then it kind of just eased up.
Yeah, your uncle would have been so disappointed.
He would have been. It was
what sounds are we hearing outside?
I think someone has got the same problem. They've left their handbrake on. They're doing doughies in the car park. So, yeah.
All right, next story. Apparently, I didn't know this, but when famous people and celebrities pass away, Bible bashers and religious people come out and say that on their deathbed, these famous people asserted their faith and belief in God.
Okay.
Right? A Facebook page called Catholics Online, don't send them any hate, I'm just trying to report the story, said that Stephen Hawking met with Pope Francis a couple of days before his death and muttered, I believe.
Just for one, motor neuron disease, it makes it very, very hard to mutter anything.
That's what they said, right? Yeah. And then someone said, oh, no, we meant through his system. Like through his
you know what?
auto voice.
If he did, I think he was trolling them to the very last.
So this is obviously false and fabricated.
Yeah.
But they went so far as to use a photo of Stephen and Pope Francis taking November of 2016 to validate, in quotation marks, their article. And then that story led me to a website called Snopes. So S for hold on, let's do it properly. Sierra, November,
Oscar, Papa, Echo, Sierra.
Thank you. Which apparently is a fact and conspiracy checking website founded by David Michelson. And it is funded by operators, donors, and also like crowdfunded and Patreon too. So I'm going to look at that website later on.
And also, just like crowdfunding and everything, the military uses the phonetic alphabet, because we've been watching some podcasts lately, and I'm fed up with hearing military speak.
Military language.
Military language. And then they use the wrong word.
It's NATO. It's not phonetic. It's the NATO phonetic alphabet.
Yeah.
Can we just get that right?
Yeah. NATO phonetic alphabet. You know, makes it easier once you're on, you know, the CB radio.
Oh, God.
Foxtrot. Yeah, no.
Did you know that Pikachu has, like, a series of 10 shows? Of him doing dumb shit?
Let me guess, it's called Peekaboo Pikachu?
No. This is Detective Pikachu. Pika. I don't like it. Please stop.
Hey.
One of your best friends loves Digimon and whatever the fuck that Pokemon. And every time we see him... I remember the first time we met, I trolled him so hard, and he was like, his first question, like one of his first questions was, so what's your favourite, I was almost said Digimon, but that's not right, Pokemon, and I was like, what's a Pokemon?
Yeah. Because
for your older brother, I always ask, what's a TIE fighter? And where does Star Wars fit in the Star Trek universe?
Yep.
And when I say that, your older brother rages, and I laugh, and you act, and you play along, which I love so much more. And you're like, nah, man, she's never seen it. That's what she thinks. Blah blah blah. Yeah. I try not to tell her because I don't want to hurt her feelings. And Rob just gets really, really shitty.
Yeah. I like the one. It's like, was Commander Spock in Hogan's Heroes?
Alright, anyway, now Pikachu has his own detective TV show, Sherlock Holmes style,
yeah.
and he helps this kid called Tim track down his dad.
Wow, sounds like a little bit of CIA shenanigans there.
Oh, what are they hiding?
It's a cold case. So
I didn't say his dad's dead, dying, decaying body. I just meant like he was lost and he was helping, like, I don't know.
Cold case Pikachu.
Oh, God.
We're hunting down, Pokemon. This is a Pokemon case from 1248. It went missing.
Oh, God.
We have one suspect. Goes by the name of Ash.
Who's Ash?
He's Pikachu's trainer.
Is he the kid with the red and white baseball cap who wears the overalls?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pika.
Alright, please stop. Alright, so, 2 outbreak stories today. One at our, where we live.
Yeah.
And everything. And I was in a panic when I got the article through the Facebook, because we're in the area that we live and the surrounding areas, their Facebook pages,
and also,
and I shat my go.
Basically, because a 40-year-old man went through an airport terminal baggage claim with measles, and now the measles has spread.
And a baby who was too young to get immunised freaking contracted it.
Yep.
And so I panicked the fuck out, and I messaged my brother, because my mum wouldn't fucking answer her phone at 10 o'clock, and she'd think the world was ending, literally. That's my mother.
But here's the thing, though. You look at it and you go, the amount of people in a populated area, say, for instance, if you've got 100 people in the populated area, and say 3 of them catch that, they go to another populated area.
Do you know, in, obviously polio hasn't been completely eradicated. Smallpox has been almost completely... It's completely eradicated, but it's in cryopreserve at the moment in Russia and Atlanta. Why would you put it in a major port city? And why would you put it in a CBD? But that's a completely different question. It is, in our time, it is the most highly communicable disease besides chickenpox. So this guy infected fucking everyone. Well, not everyone, but a student at our uni. And I messaged my brother so that way he could ask my mum, because I'm 24 years old and I don't know my medical history. And I was shitting myself, because you know how last week I was like, I have a pain and I have pains and I feel really, really sick. I think that's what it was. But I think I have the antibodies because I've had the vaccine. Dead set, that's what it must have been, because I was there that time. The room the kid was in, I was there an hour afterwards. Right?
Yeah.
So, obviously I've had the vaccine, but that's why I was like, oh, fucking shit. So I messaged my brother and I was like, yo, can you ask mum, because I can't call her, it's too late, if you're awake or in the morning, can you just ask her to make sure that I've had my measles vaccine? And she goes, you fucking idiot, duh, we're not fucking anti-vaxxers, what's the fuck wrong with you? And then I got in a panic and I was like, shit, maybe I'm gonna make you sick, I'm gonna make everyone fucking sick, do I need to be in fucking quarantine? And then I'm like, what's the timeline on the measles vaccine? It's 99% from the time you've had your second shot, your booster, to the day you die.
For measles, mumps, and rubella. That's why it's called an MMR shot.
I know.
Yeah.
But you know when you're panicking and you're like, this is how I die. It's all over.
This is how I adaptive immune system.
I love the look. Triggering. Dude, this is.
Don't worry. It's innate.
I wrote. Stop.
It's innate.
Stop. Look at the amount of notes I wrote on the immune system this morning. 2 pages and 3/4 before I went to uni.
You know what my T cells do when they see?
Do you actually know what T cells do?
I pity the fool.
Pitiful.
I pity the fool. I'm Mr. T.
Do you know what T cells do? That's the question.
They make tea, just like housekeeping genes.
Is that your final answer?
They clean buildings. So essentially, what a T cell is, it's a T lymphocyte. Are you
Googling?
No. T cell is a T lymphocyte.
What does it do? What's its function?
It's a subtype of a white blood cell.
What does it do?
It plays a role in cell-mediated immunity.
What's its function?
Well, basically, stuff.
You don't know. Do you know what a B cell does? Make me feel superior, like I know my knowledge.
I do.
I just mean like make me feel superior that I know something that you don't.
What?
B cells are the ones that secrete antibodies after they've been stimulated.
Yeah, with the adaptive immune system.
No, by dendritic cells. The dendritic cells are the sentinels. You can't see us, but we're moving our hands around in what your mum would call wrapping.
And for us, this is humour because it's part of the humoral immunity component of the adaptive immune system.
You know how people like...
Dumb.
That might... Me. Mitochondria are the powerhouse of the cell. You get to biomed, and then they're like... dendritic cells are the sentinels of the immune system. That's the new tagline. So the dendritic cells, which are the sentinels of the immune system in the body, they live in the periphery, right? And then they take up the antigen, and then they migratory in that they travel to the nymphlode. And the nymphodes, that's going to cost you marks on the exam.
Nymphodes. So they're basically they're immunity seagulls.
Yes. Dude! Alright, let me finish this story and hold this. I have a story to tell you.
About immunity seagulls.
And then they travel to the lymph nodes, and then they present it to naive... See, this is where I'm stuck. Is it B or T? I don't know, and I don't want to cheat. I think it's B cell. I think it's both. It's got to be both because it's both because they bridge between the innate and adaptive blah 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 arms of the immune system in a vertebrate, and yeah, right. And then they help the cells make what they need to do. And then there are 3 types of T cells. That's 4 that I need to know. Tregs. T regulatory T cells. There's the killer. No, is that right? The killer cells. And then there's helper, which help. I want to say the B cells do whatever.
And what are the Bs?
B cells are the ones that secrete antibody.
Yeah. So you got a naive B cell. You got a memory.
Yeah, but it's innate. It's naive until the dendritic cell comes along and is like, "Yo, I've processed this antigen.
Yep.
I need you to make antibodies against it."
Then you got memory B cell. Then you got a follicular B cell.
I don't need to know that far.
And you got a B cell receptor, but no transistors. I don't know why I'm waving my arms a bit. I'm tired.
Okay, so I was at the bus, and this was last week Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And on Wednesdays I have class from 10 to 12, so I catch an earlier, well not my normal 8 a.m. bus, but like the 9 a.m. bus, and there is actually a elder, native Australian elder, that is on that bus because she drops her grandson off to school with the bus, and then she takes that bus route home. She goes to Macca's on Wednesdays and Fridays, and she gets herself Macca's. Don't staple your ear, please. She gets herself Macca's as like her treat for herself. She always gets herself a hash brown, sometimes 2 hash browns, and a sausage, no, not a sausage, a bacon egg muffin. And so last Wednesday, it was warmer, so the seagulls came out. You know how I've never seen in real life how they snap their heads back like that, but they do that when they're charging. Charging each other or trying to assert dominance. So the seagull comes up and the other ones will flock. She whispered something in Koori and they ran.
That's pretty crazy.
I don't know what she did. I don't know what she said. But she said something, and they couldn't have disappeared faster if they blew up. Alright, so... Oh, have you heard that everyone's worried in Brisbane?
Brisbane?
Meet you at Brisbane.
Meet you at Brisbane. At Darwin.
That everyone's worried because the bin chickens are going to take over and make the Commonwealth Games look terrible because of the bin chickens, which are ibises to everyone else. Yeah. But now that I know the ibises are termed bin chickens, I can't stop saying bin chicken.
But the question is though, why don't they have the bin chicken games?
No, stop it. Alright, last story for the day. Second last story for the day. The Centre for Disease Dynamics, Economics and Policy released a new data tables showing that antibiotic resistance is still on the rise, that prescriptions for antibiotics are increasing, and especially in the third world countries who obviously would need a heavier load of antibiotics because I'm not trying to be rude or anything like that. Like, obviously they have terrible access to healthcare. No one's doing anything to change anything. Sanitation is down and no one gives a stuff because we're too busy trying to save money to buy Teslas. But whatever. So apparently we are due to see an antibiotic crash in the next 5 to 10 years.
That's not good. That's not good.
So, drug design's the way to go.
Yep.
And let's just leach them of heavy metals that they need.
Yep.
And let's do some research, people.
Oh, yes. All for the research.
Last story for the day. The CDC is now warning everyone that the second wave of the flu epidemic is released this weekend. They saw the emergence of strain B, and it's being reported more this week than strain A, and that it's possible for people who have the strain A to obviously contract and be affected and be sick by strain B. So, if you can get that single valent shot...
Now, where is this more prevalent at the moment?
Right now it's in the Northern Hemisphere, but it's going to hit us in 3 weeks tops.
Shit. Great.
But the thing is, the quad strain that we have hitting the shelves in April, that was going to have the A strain. So I'm hoping that, they're going to have to toss all the meds out and now bring in a new viral strain, because the most you can do is quad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because otherwise it reverse mutates,
yep,
according to current research.
Yeah.
So what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? What do you do?
Roll with the punches.
Are we going to get flu shots this year?
Maybe. I didn't get one last year and I was okay.
I'm sorry. We both remember that a lot differently.
Yeah, no, right. I was sick for a week.
A week?
Well, really bad for a week and then still sick for
You had
3.
two really... You got 2 flus back to back.
I copped it back to back. That was...
Yeah. And then you got me sick.
Yeah.
Because you fucking infect everything.
I do.
Fomites, Michael. Wash your fucking hands, Michael.
But I'm the plague. I like plagues. I like sharing things. That's why. Sharing.
Guess what? Actually, no, it's not this week. It's not next week. It's the week after Easter break. But we start the infectious diseases topic in Biomed.
Talking about infectious diseases, have you seen...
What the fuck was that sound?
That was my leg on the chair.
Are you just saying that? Because
No.
if it wasn't, I need you to go out there and stop whatever the fuck that was. Because I can't deal. Alright, whatever.
It's
Continue.
me. Yeah, 28 days later. Zombie virus.
You're a zombie virus.
I like zombie virus.
Talking about zombie viruses, it's Good Friday this... Oh! I can say that. I'm orthodox.
Jeez.
It's Good Friday this week, or should I say Easter? I have a week off uni next year, and next week, and I have Friday off this week.
Just think, someone got nailed to bring these chocolate bunnies to you.
Stop it.
Well, stoned actually, but no, different
No. No, he didn't get stoned. He stopped the adulteress from being stoned.
Sorry, drug references.
I went shopping and I bought us a ton of fish to cook at home. I got crumbed fish so that we could have like fish and chips for lunch, and frozen potato chips, because that's all.
You know how they make...
And I'm going to make salmon, and I just need to get lemon because I forgot to get that today.
You know how they make crumbed fish?
How?
What they do is they get the fish and they feed it bread, and then they shake it, and then the fish sweats out breadcrumbs. Ta-da! So really, breadcrumbs are just salty fish.
No, I'm sorry.
No, that won't pass?
Breadcrumbs are bread that's been left to be stale, and then it's been grated.
Don't tell people that. We can't be telling them the truth.
I went shopping, and we went shopping today, and I fucking forgot the lemons, which I'll have to go back and get.
You know why? Because they were a bit sour about it.
Oh my god. Yeah, lemons are sour, Michael. We get it. But get your shopping done tomorrow, the latest, everyone. It's going to be nuts.
And not
go
like
get everything.
Hazelnuts or cashews.
And you've got the day off work on Good Friday.
Yes!
So we're planning to go watch Ready Player One.
Ready Player One. And you know what? I'm telling you right now, my thoughts and views for this movie, it's going to be shit. It's going to be worse than The Force Awakens.
See, I hope...
Ugh.
See, I said that about Tomb Raider, but I love Tomb Raider.
Only
so I
because...
hope that you'll have the same...
You know what? I reckon maybe what's going to happen in the book is probably only going to be maybe
the
10 to 20% of what happens in the movies.
But that's with everything.
But they're going to completely change it. I know for a fact they put in a car chase. A car chase.
We've got to make it likeable for the kids. Kids like Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, they put, Ready Player Furious.
And Need for Speed.
Need for
Speed.
illicit drugs.
Talking about illicit
Need
drugs.
Need for pseudoephedrine.
We're going to leave it here, everyone. Otherwise
Yes.
it'll be blah, blah, blah in forever.
Yeah.
Happy Easter in advance. Stay safe. Balance your breakfast. A little bit of fibre. A little bit of chocolate. Have fun. Catch up with your family. If you're going to church, good luck, all the Orthodox people. Hope you have fun in 19-degree storm weather
If you're
on
going
Friday
to
and
the
Saturday
shooting range,
and Sunday.
make sure you shoot down range.
What's that got to do with Easter, mate?
Stay on target. I don't know.
Right on. So, thank you so much for listening, everyone. Have a great week.
Au revoir.
Next week we'll be podcasting a little bit earlier, next Tuesday, because obviously I don't have to go to uni. And I'll be productive. And I also have my birthday lunch next Tuesday. Dinner, actually, pre-birthday week dinner that I'm catching up with. So next week's podcast will be like 4 or 5 hours early if everything goes well. But you'll definitely have it on the Tuesday. I want it to be, because we have to be at dinner now this time next week.
Yeah, and you know what?
So
my fat cells are looking forward to cake.
she was like, oh, let's go to Eiffel Tower. And I was like, I don't want a cake. And she was like, oh, I'll do
You know what I said to myself? Why would we be going to France?
Okay, it's not France.
But the
Eiffel Tower
is in
bakery.
France. They have a bakery.
And cake factory
in the Eiffel Tower.
is in Tullamarine.
But there's no Tullamarine in France.
There's one in Melbourne.
So they put one in Melbourne but not in France.
The company, the cake baking company, is called Eiffel Tower. They're Italian.
Last time I checked, Tullamarine was pretty plain. Because it has planes. Didn't see any cakes. Definitely no Eiffel Towers.
Sunbury has the planes.
Sunbury has planes.
Tullamarine outskirts the airfield.
So when they make
more you know, don't joke about shit that you don't fucking know about. I'm a Keilor kid at heart, man. I know about the western suburbs. I'm from Keilor. My family is one of the old school original families from Keilor Village. So let's go.
Well, technically,
what are your questions? Let's do this. Western suburbs, me out, tree boy.
If planes were flour, they'd be self-raising because they get themselves off the ground.
Actually, that's incorrect. Someone's got to drive or control the plane to do that. Someone's got to write the code to do that. Someone's got to put the fuel in the engine to do that. Someone's got to build the plane, put the fuel in the plane, code the program, tell the pilot what buttons to press. So in no way, shape or form is a plane self-flying, is a car self-driving, or is a boat self-boating.
Yes, it is. A plane is self-flying once you put autopilot on.
No, you didn't hear what I had to say. Someone has to build the plane.
Yeah.
Someone's got to put the fuel in the plane.
Yeah.
Someone has to put the code in the plane so the plane knows, and the pilot has to press the button.
But what happens if they put code 66 in and then suddenly the plane goes around and destroys
I don't know what
the Jedi?
code 66 is, but I'm assuming that's a fucking... I almost said Skyrim reference.
And that's
incorrect.
to destroy the Jedi.
Anyway, to celebrate Good Friday, what
Okay.
I am proposing to do...
Ice cream.
...is after the movie, we're going to come home. We can't eat ice cream because that's animal products.
Potatoes.
And we can't do that. I want to watch what I do every year, and that's watch Hocus Pocus.
With potatoes.
And I want to watch Prince of Egypt.
With potatoes.
And the old school Ben-Hur movie had Jesus in it, but if the new school, the remake Ben-Hur has Jesus in it, I might want to watch that movie too.
With potato chips.
No potato chips, you can't, because it's animal products.
Oh, it's not. It's from potato.
Not the oil.
Yeah, it is. It's potato
No.
oil.
There's no such thing as potato oil.
Yeah, you get them on treadmills and they sweat, so you take the potato oil.
So you haven't
from
been
potatoes.
to the gym in almost 9 months.
That's why I'm a potato.
You don't talk. Alright everyone, thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions, any comments, any future topics that you want us to discuss, please be sure to let us know. All our normal links are in the episode notes section, so you can find us.
And if you like potatoes, say something down below. We want to see how many potatoes you like.
And if you like potato, what's your favourite type of potato?
Yeah.
Sweet potato, golden potato.
Round potato.
And what's your favourite way to eat potatoes? If anyone actually listens to the end of this, which I highly doubt.
Yeah.
But, thank you so much for listening, everyone. Is that everything?
Yes, that's everything.
Have a great Easter.
Au revoir.
We will chat to you next week.
Happy New Year.
Oh, God. Why do you do this? It's not New Year.
No,
it's not even Easter yet.
Yeah, it is.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I think I've decreased my chocolate consumption in my adult years by 90%.
This is bad. We need more chocolate.
I don't want chocolate. Chocolate's expensive. Do you know how much actual proper... This is how you know you're getting old, when you're like, do you know how many vegetables or how much chicken I could buy for that amount of money?
Well, look on the bright
That's how I
side.
measure shit now.
People who drink Kopi Luwak coffee basically get a rodent that shits
I don't
out
know
the
what
coffee
that
beans.
is.
Basically, they get a bean
Oh!
and the civet,
Yes!
and the civet eats the berries and then shits out the coffee beans.
Alright, we're
And
stopping.
because the enzymes digest it, this is a different
Why
podcast.
don't you add this content to the podcast
No, I'll
when
do
we're
it next
supposed
time.
to be recording? Alright,
It's shit coffee.
I'm a shit coffee. Alright, ta-ta for now.
Au revoir.